Hi, I'm Per Sedihn, the CTO Proact. I guess that everyone has heard about the cloud by now. In this film, I will share a couple of ideas when to use the cloud and what type of cloud to choose. Let's start with the definition of a cloud. Cloud is not the technology itself, but a way of using technology. It uses an on-demand self-service model for delivering IT functions to the user. Consolidation, virtualization and automation are the underlying enablers to create a cloud. There is of course not one version of the cloud. The ones most of us use, often as the free service, is called a public cloud. Then you have the private cloud, which is located inside your data center. And then there is something in between. It's not in your data center, but it will comply with your security standards, deliver functions according to an SLA, and are most likely located in a geography close to where you conduct business. We call it a trusted cloud. That might be a good start, but the next question is, what information should we put where? You can of course say that nothing is allowed outside the data center. But that is, in my view, a too narrow approach. Outside, some operations contain extremely sensitive information like patient records. You have to embrace the power of the cloud to have a contemporary IT operation. The theoretical approach would be that every piece of information would contain all the relevant metadata to be self-contained inside or outside the data center. This approach has at least two challenges. This is technically very hard to do with today's jungle of data and metadata formats. We also have to classify data on a very granular level, quite a mighty task. It might happen in the future, but I think we need something more practical that can be used today. This model focuses on the applications and the workflow. There are some technical considerations, but IT would most likely not run a project like this, but take an important supporting role. There are two targets for the data. It's either inside the data center or on an external trusted cloud. The other target is the public cloud. As we all know it today, we have less control, probably no SLAs, limited security, but low cost. We start by looking at the application in step 1. Does this application contain confidential data? Is it a tier 1 application? Does it provide differentiating business capability? Or is it depending on high bandwidth and short latency? Then we will run it in the private or the trusted cloud. If these criteria are not fulfilled, we have a candidate for the public cloud. Step 2 is to look at the workflow that this application is part of. If the workflow is industry standard, doesn't require customization, or are at an engineering point, we still have a candidate for the public cloud. If these criteria are not fulfilled, we should likely keep it in the private or trusted cloud. This process is fairly high level, but that's also its strength, since you can easily get caught in the details and the project goes nowhere. Until next time, live well, store wisely. Yeah.